Welcome back, folks, and thanks for joining us today. So, I had dropped my Stanley smoothing plane, and the front handle took a trip to the ceramic happy hunting grounds, so to speak. Otherwise, the plane took no damage, and as to the handle, well, that we can build ourselves, right? When I added an MDF board as a table to my drill press a little while ago, I also added an inlay with a centered bearing to minimize stress on the drill chuck when using it for sanding. For sharpening knives, this also came in handy, although that diamond disc is pretty much crap, but the concept works well. Anyway, back to Mr. Stanley. I found a scrap piece of round bar in my pile, and the Shinto rasp made shaping it quite a breeze. And yes, this is spruce, which in Germany is kind of the equivalent to pine when it comes to construction lumber. And it's soft, but well. So the handle I could replace without too much of a hassle, and though it might not exactly be pretty, it very much does the job. The plane is functional again.
Ja, so lassen wir das.
And a few days after that, this eyesore of a handle had annoyed me enough to finally get it replaced, with an old piece of a broomstick and a firewood block of maple. Also, since my old DIY table saw had a bearing failure, and I had finally gotten myself a neat equipment upgrade, the brand new Evolution job site table saw was ready to rumble. And it did. A threaded rod got inserted into the drilled hole and I tightened the nuts. Does this sound naughty? Well, they're nuts, right? And I tightened them. Anyway, the drill press gives up to 2600 RPM, and at full speed I roughly shake the maple to get it running smoothly. And then the envisioned shape took shape. Freehand.
Die ist aber warm geworden. Gut. Dann braucht er jetzt erstmal eine Pause.
Oh yeah.
Aber das ist doch nett.
At this point I realized I forgot to drill a recess hole for the round bar which was going to make up the handle. It would certainly have been smarter to do so beforehand, but well, there's almost always a workaround, isn't there? And the second one was rinse and repeat. So I imagine some viewers being like, you can't do that. That's not a lathe. A drill press is not made for that. Yeah, true. It's not. And I explicitly do not recommend doing this. Still, I will, if need be, because I don't have a lathe. And I must admit, it actually works pretty well, as long as I don't overdo it on the engine or the drill press. In my case, the motor got pretty hot after some 6 minutes on full speed. I keep that in mind, and it'll be fine. So, to be totally clear, if you want to do this, it's your choice, and yours alone. With that out of the way, before assembly I decided to give the pieces a little extra touch. And as to fixing the end pieces to the handle, I simply cut a thread into the wood and use regular threaded bolts, which actually is a surprisingly strong joint.
Ja.
And there we are, a neat little, not at all any more annoying handle for my little vise. Thanks for watching. Remember, give us a thumbs up and subscribe and spread the word to help our channel grow. Cheers folks, until next time, be well, see ya.